Good day and welcome to AFRISIGHT Forum. Today we bring you a developing story that is commanding significant attention across Nigeria's political and religious landscape. A prominent and widely followed Nigerian cleric, Primate Ayodele, has issued a series of bold, wide-ranging declarations that are now reverberating through social media, political circles, and living rooms across the nation. His remarks, delivered with characteristic bluntness, touch on some of the most sensitive fault lines in Nigerian public life, from the continued detention of IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu to the political future of President Bola Tinubu to the country's worsening security challenges. Today, AFRISIGHT Forum brings you a careful and measured examination of what was said and what it means. First, hear this.
Since last year I've been mentioning schools. This school, be careful. Attacking this school. This. When I'm doing it, people say, June. School say Otimbe Rusi. And they have not started. Try and release Nnamdi Kanu. Since you keep Nnamdi Kanu there, why can't you also keep Gumi? Nnamdi Kanu is kept, right? Gumi is free. Then how do you want to now manage the government? If Gumi is there, Nnamdi Kanu is there, then go and take Gumi. Nigeria will believe your government is serious. Protest. We seize this Tinubu's government too. Then Tinubu don't go to America, have any meeting with America. The American mafia will give Tinubu slow poison if he tries to go to America. He's planning it now. Don't go to America. Tinubu ignore America. Ignore America. Ignore America. However, they will invite Atiku. Don't worry. If you are worried, then you will lose. I tell you, if there's an election today, it's not 100% that Tinubu will win. I'm sure. Service chiefs, they are about to send them away. Service chiefs plus custom, they are going soonest. Ogun State should prepare very well for all these bandits. Osun, Ogun, Ondo, get prepared. Get prepared. Don't joke with this statement too. Take it serious. So this election is just between Atiku and Tinubu. Obi is not there. Obi is not involved. No, it's not. There's no Obi in this election. Electoral reforms, I'm saying nothing there. But Nigeria will rise up to these electoral reforms, constitutional reforms, but it will not work. NDC, that NDC will not stand. It's a party. They will struggle. But I'm saying nothing from the NDC. Dangote need to be appreciated. He helped this government a lot. If it's not Dangote, Nigeria will have crack economically. Dangote is the savior of this government. I think Nigeria is supposed to be praying for him. He has done so well for this government. I am saying this to appreciate somebody who have helped not even one person, the whole nation. If there's anything I need to say about him tomorrow, I will not stop. I will say it. I'm not saying anything for anybody to like me or to give you any impression. No. I'm not saying anything to impress anybody in this world. I will say it the way that I want to say it. Like it, fine. Don't like it, keep it to yourself. State police is not the answer to Nigeria insecurity. Get more security agencies like this forest agency, state police, another security whatever, right? Like Homeland, yes. They now spread it. Then when there's enough of people doing security, monitoring, surveillance and all sorts, there won't be any insecurity. This insecurity is man-made. Tinubu did not see it that they are using it to drag his government to nothing less. And they want to use it to finish his government. and that is what they are going to use against him. He doesn't see it coming. He doesn't see it. Create more security that will fight insecurity. Right? There are some work on technicality of getting there. They want to process in Senegal because of economic hardship. The president of Senegal should watch. If this comes up, it will affect him a lot. Despite all the reconciliation, Iran will still proceed much later on their nuclear weapon, and they are going to succeed. That is the point. They are going to, despite all, they are going to do it. You know, I tell you of Melai Kayari, that is the former GM of MNPC. Only God will save him not to go to jail. They were planning jail for him. They've prepared it to. The Gambia election, the opposition, if you are not careful, technically they will rig you out and nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. They just rig you out and the government continues. There are steps you need to take to watch so that they will not rig you out. Well, if there's an election of United Nations today for Secretary General, sincerely a woman will win. A woman. People might not get me right now. Somebody else might come up. Among the candidates that are there now, if there's election, there's proper election, a woman will win. A woman, not a man. A woman. Ministry of Finance, Nigeria Ministry of Finance, be careful, because anyway, they are planning something that church will be paying tax, and if the people in the tax office, they say federal inland revenue, you try it, well, it will consume you. Don't try it. Take it easy. Find a way of getting this your money. But there's a regulation they want to set now that churches will be following, mosques will be following. It will collapse Tinubu's government. Why doing this? People might say that sentiment. Why don't you say this is the way? Well, it might work in other places. Not that it's like karma that Tinubu wanted to introduce. Buhari want to introduce. If you try such karma, it will karmalize Tinubu's government too permanently. So don't try such. Just do something better than what you are planning. Minister of Finance, Nigeria Minister of Finance, watch out on this.
The cleric opened by revisiting what he described as prior warnings he had issued regarding security threats that others dismissed. He suggested his earlier cautions had been largely ignored and positioned his latest statements within that same prophetic framework, a rhetorical style that has earned him both devoted followers and fierce critics in equal measure. At the heart of his address was a pointed question directed at the federal government. Why is Nnamdi Kanu still in detention while Islamic cleric Sheikh Gumi remains free? In his words, the government cannot credibly manage national cohesion while applying the law with what he characterized as a visible double standard. He argued that if Kanu remains incarcerated for his role in agitation and alleged treasonable offenses, then Gumi, who has been publicly associated with engaging armed bandits on behalf of the state, should face equivalent scrutiny. It is a question, he insisted, that strikes at the heart of equal justice under the Nigerian constitution. The cleric then turned his attention to President Tinubu directly, issuing what can only be described as an unsolicited foreign policy advisory. He urged the president in the strongest possible terms to avoid traveling to the United States, claiming in cryptic language that forces within American power structures bore ill will toward Nigeria's leadership. Whether one receives that warning literally or metaphorically, it reflects a broader undercurrent of anti-Western sentiment that continues to gain traction in certain segments of Nigerian public opinion. On the question of electoral politics, the cleric was equally direct. He stated plainly that if an election were held today, President Tinubu's victory would be far from guaranteed. He dismissed Labour Party's Peter Obi as a non-factor in whatever political contest lies ahead, framing the next major political battle as a two-horse race between Tinubu and former Vice President Atiku Abubakar. He also poured cold water on what he described as the NDC, suggesting the party would struggle without producing meaningful results. These are politically charged assessments that, whether substantiated or not, reflect a growing sense of electoral anxiety in the country. One of the more unexpected moments came when the cleric offered a spirited defense of Alhaji Aliko Dangote, describing the business mogul as nothing short of the economic savior of the Tinubu administration. He credited Dangote's refinery and broader economic contributions with stabilizing a Nigerian economy that might otherwise have buckled under the pressures of subsidy removal and currency devaluation. It was a rare and unequivocal endorsement from a figure who more typically uses his platform to challenge power rather than celebrate it. The cleric also weighed in on the contentious debate around state police, declaring it an inadequate solution to Nigeria's deepening security crisis. Instead, he advocated for the establishment of specialized security agencies, dedicated forest monitoring units, surveillance outfits, and homeland-style intelligence structures. He characterized the current wave of insecurity as deliberately engineered, a political weapon being wielded by those who wish to see the Tinubu government destabilized from within. That is a serious allegation that demands serious engagement. Finally, he issued a direct warning to the Ministry of Finance over reported plans to introduce taxation on religious institutions. He argued that such a move would trigger severe political consequences for the administration, comparing it to a form of self-inflicted damage that no government seeking longevity should risk. What AFRISIGHT Forum presents to you tonight is not an endorsement of any position, but rather an honest and unflinching examination of the voices shaping public discourse in Nigeria. Whether you view this cleric as a prophet, a provocateur, or simply a commentator with a large platform, his words are clearly resonating. And in a democracy, resonance demands attention. We want to hear from you. Do his arguments hold merit? Where do you believe he missed the mark? Join the conversation and share your perspective. This is AFRISIGHT Forum. Stay informed, stay engaged. Good night.